Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're at the Loro Park in northern Tenerife. In this video we'll be taking a look at the parking and how to avoid the scammers, how to avoid the queues for tickets. We'll take a look around the shopping and the eateries, looking at the prices and the food. We'll be visiting the animals and attending the shows. And here is the Loro Park, located on the outskirts of Puerto de la Cruz on the northern coast of Tenerife. It opened in December 1972 and it covered at the time just 13,000 square metres and housed 150 parrots with only 25 staff members, loro being the Spanish word for parrot. It has now expanded to cover around 13.5 hectares and has welcomed well over 50 million visitors since opening. It looks as though it could expand a little further as well, if the farm next door wouldn't mind selling a field or two. It opens every day of the year and is consistently one of the most visited attractions on Tenerife. Let's take a look. First, let's talk about the parking. There is plenty of above ground and below ground parking for only €7 for the day. We chose to park underground where it's nice and cool, there's piped music and some basic but clean toilets. Here is the official Loro Park parking, and here is where a man with no official ID flagged us down, asked if we were going to the Loro Park, then directed us up this side street, where another man was collecting cash. But this is clearly free on-road parking. So we turned around and went over to the Loro Park, where we found lots of parking, it's not far to walk, and all the proceeds go towards the upkeep of the park. We later found out that this is a common scam. Here is the free land train that runs every 20 minutes from 9:30 to 5:30 from Puerto de la Cruz. At the entrance are two queues, one to buy a ticket and one to enter the park. We're here at 11:30 in the morning in early May, so it's quite quiet. In high season, I would recommend purchasing a ticket in advance online so you can get straight into the queue to enter the park. I will leave a link in the description and a QR code is on the screen to link to the booking site. On entering, you will be handed this free handy map with lots of information on there, including the timetable for the animal shows and the free land train from Puerto de la Cruz. It shows the locations of the various animal enclosures and the show venues, the 7 toilet blocks, the 7 places to get food, 2 picnic areas, the shops, the cash point at the entrance, the first aid station and 3 defibrillators. They really have thought of everything. Here we are, just inside the entrance, which is designed as an authentic Thai village. Built using Thai craftsmanship, it's one of the largest collections of Thai architecture outside of Thailand. On the right are the toilets, and these really are magnificent. These facilities are lovely, lots of polished granite everywhere, lovely wooden doors. It's very clean and tidy and kept that way by the attendant. The only thing I didn't like was that the flush is actually on the downpipe and was very tricky to use. Well, that's all the practical stuff sorted. Let's go and find some animals. The paths around the site are wide and level and thankfully quite shaded, with lots of signage. The first enclosure belongs to the gorilla. This is the 3rd time I've visited the Loro Park and he's always had his back to me. And here we are at Planet Penguin, which opened in 1999 and features one of the world's largest indoor penguin habitats, complete with artificial Antarctic snowfall. Visitors can either stroll around at their own pace or simply step onto the moving walkway, which gently carries you past the penguins, giving everyone a great view. They certainly seem to be enjoying themselves, well, as much as you can on an iceberg anyway. The next up were the puffins. They are quite cute. And this chap seemed really friendly. In the middle of the spiral walkway down to the ground floor is this mesmerising aquarium. Quite lovely. And if you love penguins, you're going to like this shop. Just past Planet Penguin, we come to the first kiosk where you can get hot and cold drinks, ice creams, lollies, popcorn, that sort of thing. The prices are quite reasonable too. Soft drinks, €2 to €3, and coffees, €2 to €2.50. And here we are at the capybara enclosure. The glass could do with a bit of a clean, but you can still see them. They're very cute, and the enclosure is quite impressive. Just along from the enclosure is the first food outlet, the self-service pizzeria. It's a nice quiet spot with this lovely outdoor seating area. In hindsight, I wish we'd eaten here. Let's take a look at the prices. Well, there's quite a variety to choose from, and the prices are very reasonable. A margherita pizza, only €10. All other pizzas, €11. Just outside the pizzeria, you can buy yourself a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, or, if this is your thing, have a selfie with some parrot wings. Just along from the pizzeria is where you'll find the bar, some shopping, and Loro Vision, which is where the parrot show takes place, and that's where we're off to next. Here we have a shop that sells Canarian foodstuffs, and a kiosk where you can get a slushie, a smoothie, ice creams, that sort of thing. A sweet shop. This shop sells some rather nice jewellery, a lot of it made from lava stone. This shop sells lots of clothing and souvenirs, and I bought a pair of sunglasses here. It's nearly 12:30, so we're off to see the parrot show. Here we are in the auditorium, plenty of seating, and a very impressive jungle canopy sky. The Loro Park holds one of the largest and most diverse collections of parrots in the world, with hundreds of species and subspecies. According to the park, its programmes have helped prevent the extinction of 10 parrot species, and it participates in scientific research, captive breeding programmes and habitat protection projects worldwide. The 20-minute show is a mixture of entertainment and education, pitched at a level that even small children can understand. To show how intelligent the birds are, they even perform little tasks. There is lots of information on the parrot's diet, habitat, physiology, and the different species. Having been to this show before, I decided to sit at the back and in the middle, hoping to get this particular shot. That was lovely, but if you are afraid of birds, perhaps give this show a miss. The show ends with a magnificent fly past of all the birds. At the end of the parrot show, we have 10 minutes until the start of the dolphin show at 1 o'clock. Luckily, the Dolphinarium, which was the largest in Europe when it opened in 1987, was just a few minutes' walk away. The warm-up act for the dolphins were parrots, and clearly ones that they trust to come back. dolphin show lasted around 20 minutes and was very good. We thoroughly enjoyed it. If you would like to see dolphins out in the wild, there are lots of boat trips from Tenerife to go and see them. We had an excellent trip from Los Gigantes, and the video of that trip is on the channel. When the show ended, it was about 1:30 and we were quite hungry. So we walked down to the Coral Kingdom area of the park to have lunch at Patio del Loro, which is a self-service restaurant that serves baguettes, hot dogs, burgers and fries. Again, the prices were very reasonable. The burgers were €7, the fries €3 and an apple juice €3. The burgers were juicy with plenty of salad and the fries were hot. I didn't get any footage of this particular restaurant as it was full of children. It looks as though there was a school trip. They were all very excitable. You just couldn't hear yourself think. So I wish I had gone to the pizzeria. That looked nice and quiet. After lunch, we popped next door into Coral Kingdom, which is a huge aquarium with digital projections on the floor and ceiling. Just as in Planet Penguin, you can either walk around at your own pace or glide along on the moving walkway. Next up are the ever-popular meerkats. There weren't very many of them, but they weren't shy. I do love meerkats. They are super cute. The lioness was having 40 winks, and the ring-tailed lemur was having an afternoon nap. As we wanted to see the orca show at 3:15, we made our way back up the park past the flamingos. We also saw the orchids for our friend Jackie, who's keen and an orchid breeder. We saw the hippo, who was chilling in her very own pool. There is an absolutely magnificent jaguar. Absolutely beautiful. I love cats, big and small. We made our way up to Orca Ocean at the top of the park in time for the orca show. Just outside is the gift shop where you can purchase all things orca. There's also a handy toilet block. Orca Ocean opened in 2006. Animal welfare organisations have questioned the keeping of large marine mammals in captivity, while the park maintains that it meets high welfare standards and argues its conservation, education and research work benefits wildlife. This orca is one of the park's best-known residents, Morgan. She was rescued off the Dutch coast in 2010 after being found alone and close to starvation. Unable to be returned safely to the wild, she was brought to Loro Park, where she now lives with the park's other orcas. Morgan is also deaf, so her trainers use underwater light signals to communicate with her. As you can see, unless you want an absolute soaking, don't sit in the first 4 rows. The orcas put in 2 shifts a day, at 11:55 and 3:15, so it's best to plan your journey around the park bearing this in mind, because as you can see, it's well worth attending. After the orcas, we went to Tiger Island to see this magnificent kitty. And then over to the otters to see this cuteness overload. We passed the red panda enclosure a couple of times during the day, but red pandas are quite elusive and we just didn't see one. But it proved to be 3rd time lucky. On our 3rd pass of this enclosure, there was quite a kerfuffle, so we decided to see what was going on. And sure enough, there was the little panda. Well, when you are this cute, you're bound to be a crowd pleaser. After the excitement at the red panda enclosure, we made our way over to the bat cave. It's quite atmospheric in here. Up next is Katandra Treetops. I absolutely love it here. but you do need a head for heights. Katandra Treetops opened in September 2010, Katandra being the Australian Aboriginal word meaning Song of the Birds. This aviary is one of the largest free-fly aviaries in Europe, standing an impressive 27 metres high at its tallest point, using a 21-tonne stainless steel framework to support around 3,000 square metres of mesh, creating approximately 27,000 cubic metres of flying space for the birds. The raised walkway and hanging bridge take you high up into the canopy, where you're immersed in a tropical forest filled with birds from Australia and Asia, and putting you at eye level with many of the colourful residents. And they don't seem scared at all. Here we are quite close to them, and this little chap just walked straight up to my hand. This habitat is home to quite a few species: rainbow lorikeets, cockatoos, kookaburras, electus parrots, golden pheasants, crowned pigeons, fruit doves, mandarin ducks and herons. Although I have no idea which ones are which, all I do know is that they're all beautiful. Here is the hanging bridge section of the raised walkway, and as you can see, there's no wobbling at all. It feels very safe and secure. And at the end there is a security camera keeping an eye on residents and visitors. From here, you can see the mesh ceiling. From the hanging bridge, it's time to make our way back down, past another few feeding stations. And here are more of the residents, and they don't seem at all bothered by us being here. Oh, look at this little beauty, demonstrating how to eat a nut. Well, that was Katandra Treetops. Well worth visiting if you like birds and don't mind heights. Just outside the aviary is the parrot food kitchen. It certainly looks as though they eat very well. And next door is Sweet Loro, where you can get an ice cream. Here are the alligators. I'm surprised to see so many fish alive. I thought they'd have eaten them all. Here we are at the parrot baby station, where you can take a look at the new arrivals. And here we are at the aquarium. This attraction showcases both freshwater and marine ecosystems from around the world, with everything from tiny seahorses to large sharks. Several aquatic habitats from around the world are recreated, including the Caribbean coral reefs, the Indo-Pacific, the Amazon River, mangrove ecosystems and waters around the Canary Islands. Together, these habitats are home to thousands of fish and marine animals, representing hundreds of species. Oh, even from this distance I know what these are. These are neonfish. My Uncle Eric used to breed these. This is a lovely effect. The dark surroundings make the light aquariums look like moving pictures. The highlight of the aquarium is the underwater tunnel, where sharks and rays glide gracefully overhead, giving you the feeling of walking beneath the ocean. Oh, this little shark is taking a rest on the tunnel canopy, allowing us to get a good look at him. When I came through the tunnel the first time, it was quite crowded, so once it had quietened down, I came back down again. It's much nicer when it's quieter. So that was our visit to the Loro Park. It really has been a lovely day out, and we spent around 5.5 hours here. There's a lot to see. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit in a sea lion show. I wish we'd had another hour here really. I can recommend the food and drinks here, and the prices are very reasonable. It's easy to see why this is one of Tenerife's most popular attractions. I would recommend buying the tickets in advance so that you don't need to queue. I will leave a link in the description and a QR code is on screen where you can purchase a ticket or, if you're not driving, an excursion and entry to the park. I hope you found this review of the Loro Park helpful. If you're planning a trip to Tenerife, check out the other attraction reviews on the channel. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment to let me know what you thought, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching.